This week in our sailboat restoration project, we're getting a whole new view on the world as we create our forward-facing windows and finish up on our forward cabin. This is Luke, and I'm Lori, and we're restoring this abandoned sailboat from stem to stern thanks to our Patreons and viewers like you. And if you want to see what these windows are like looking out into the ocean as we sail around the world one day, subscribe to our channel, like this video, and ring that bell. It's a totally free way to keep the journey alive. When you've come as far as we have, it's important not to forget where you came from. Here we are, day 2 in our slightly disastrous boat, but so much potential. So young and innocent, and so naive. But let's face it, sometimes it's best not to know what the future holds. The obstacles that you have to overcome and the challenges that you have to experience for yourself, because probably you would have never even started. If we'd have known how much work it would take to restore this boat, would we have bought it? It's hard to say looking back now. A lot of moments that were really hard. This was certainly not the project we had originally started out on, and sometimes our ideas seem unachievable, or everything seems way more expensive than you'd like it to be. Sometimes we're physically tired and there's so many more decisions to make that we don't know what to do next. That's what makes this moment so special. Selmo is now working on the windows of our forward berth, which is this wrap-around window part, so it's really complex. We have all of these strange angles. Of course, as you know, on our boat is just full of strange angles. So he's got to figure this out. How is he going to create the frames and everything here? Look good, look mirrored, and yeah, it's a challenge. This is the newest addition to our Mobilimar team. Selmo has been working for 20 years as a carpenter, specializing in the assembly of marine interiors for luxury yachts. Over his long career, he has been part of building over 200 boats, and now the LAHAKAI. To start building the ceiling of our forward cabin, he is going to make a gabarito, which is a template in Portuguese. After this, he'll start the complex construction of the window frames. But first, let's finish up a few details in our forward cabin, like attaching all the doors. We'll be installing sturdy latches after the wood is sealed and painted. For now, we're just putting in the hinges for measuring the doors. Then, we need to finish what we started with our washing machine installation. After some thought, we decided to create a panel that sits in front of the washing machine instead of trying to frame the sides and ceiling, since the space is really tight. So using the CNC, Davis cut a perfect circle. The result is a built-in look that is looking top-notch. All right, let's get back to it. The ceiling and windows are the final major component of the Ford cabin that need to be completed. After that, it's smooth sailing with some trim and minor details before moving on to the final step of sealing and painting. To do this, Selma is using 6mm marine-grade plywood for the job. This will ensure that no unnecessary weight will be added to the deckhead. Each panel was meticulously measured to create 4 separate removable sections: the roof, the port and starboard sections, and the forward windows. Get to work. So I am learning right now how to put this, I think it's called like a putty. It's a polyester putty. Here we go here. On these corners, we're filling in all of the imperfections in the wood, and we're also making these corners that are rounded. So this part was round on the outside, but now we're actually rounding the inside, which was way easier than actually just cutting a round piece of wood. Just do that, fill it with putty, and sand it out for that perfect round corner look. So it's fun to do. I'm really enjoying this.
They say when a girl walks the find herself if she looks for long enough. They say when a girl walks the edges of the world, she'll find herself if she looks for long enough.
This material dries incredibly fast and is greatly affected by temperature and humidity. So it's best to use it in small portions and move fast. Planning where you're gonna put it before you mix it is the best way to avoid it drying up and going to waste. This was something I picked up through trial and error. It took around 40 hours to complete these windows because of all the complexities, including around 16 hours of just sanding, refining, and adjusting. But it was really satisfying work. It goes without saying that your work surface must be clean. And though this might be obvious, dust is everywhere in this process and can easily collect in the corners. So it's important not to make the same mistake I did and apply putty in a dusty corner. You'll only end up redoing it again when the putty doesn't stick. That's the plus side of it drying so fast, though. Repairs can be done fairly quickly. I don't know what it is about these windows. The guys have all created something extraordinary every step of the way. And it seems like each new thing that goes into the boat feels even better than the last. But these windows seem extra special for some reason. Maybe because we never thought about them before. We didn't think about how they would look or how they would be made. We thought about everything else. When you're building a boat, you need to wear a million hats. A designer, architect, sander, painter, welder, electrician, plumber, you name it. And if you don't know how to do it yourself, you better know something about it so you can find the right person to do it for you. With our minds thinking of all these things and mainly what's attached to the floor, we never really looked up. And now that we are, it seems like the cherry on top of this amazing cake that's being made.
Together like never before. 'Cause if we catch them, the gray skies won't matter. And I heard they say when a girl walks the edges of the world, she'll find herself if she looks for long enough. They say
All right, check it out. This is all of our hard work in place. It's looking really, really great. Just keep in mind, we have a lot more windows to do after this.